Mr. and myself, and we have one board member participating virtually, Mrs. George Davis. And with that, we will begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, the first item on our agenda is our school spotlight, and we are thrilled to welcome Chompy, and Miss Reffett. And Mrs. Reffett. Take it away. Thank you.
Already queued up.
Oh my God.
Oh, Matt's still at the spotlight. All right. Well, thank you for having us, school board. Dr. Taylor, we appreciate it. We are the Allisonville Alligators, affectionately known as the Gators. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And we have a little fan section here today, and you might just get a surprise guest here in a moment named Chompy. So I'd like to start with our school celebrations. For our staff, we have so many things to celebrate, but this year we'd really like to highlight that we were able to hire multiple North Central Panthers, because we know in Washington Township, we grow Panthers. So we have several Panthers that have joined our team, and we are working on the student to staff pipeline every day. Our school counselor, who is a North Central graduate, she went to Crooked Creek. She's new this year. Thank you for providing that new opportunity for us at Allisonville. But Shannon Sedgwick was selected to participate in the 2026 INSCA. She was an emerging leader program, and we are just so happy to have her at Allisonville. Mr. Oslander, as you all know well, our technology teacher, continues to grow the Kahoot Cup, which was his brainchild, and it is an international phenomenon now. So this year it grew to over 83 countries with 7,000 students participating. And the cool thing this year was that Ukraine was the actual leader of the winner of the Kahoot Cup. So that is something special at Allisonville. Dr. Kristen Poindexter, who is in the audience. Dr. Poindexter. She was the keynote speaker for the Indiana STEM Education Conference. She received her doctorate and continues to grow STEM not only at our school in Indiana, but in general in the area. And we are so happy to have her at Allisonville. And then Chompy's in Beefy. I think Chompy should stand. Chompy. This is Chompy, as everyone knows, our beloved mascot. And one of the things we love the most about Chompy is that the students did name him, and they also threw a birthday party for him in January. So Chompy, thank you for being here. But Chompy has a new award this year. It's called Chompy's MVP, and it is awarded to a staff member who highlights the alligator attribute of the month each month at the Gator Gathering. For students, we would like to celebrate that more than 15 after-school enrichment clubs were offered, both in the fall and the spring semester, and over 200 students participated in those each semester, and there's a wide variety, K through 5, Lego club, basketball club, robotics club, chess club, anything that you are interested in, we have it for you at Allisonville. We have something called the Chompy Challenge. It is a homeschool reading program, because we know in Washington Township, every Panther reads. And so the Chompy Challenge is something that students can complete over the year. We've already have 150 students who have read 100 books. And when they read 100 books, they get a t-shirt that says, I completed the Chompy Challenge. This year's shirts are red because we grow Panthers. And we're looking forward to many more completing that challenge before we leave in May. We also had 4 students. We had many students who submitted essays for the Statehood Day essay contest, but this year we actually had 4 fourth graders selected as finalists, and that was very exciting. You may have seen our superstar Lennox Sparks. He is a breakdance phenomenon, and he has performed in the talent show every year at Allisonville, among other things. He did his winning breakdance routine at the opening meeting, which was really fun. And we have 2 student-led news programs at Allisonville. We really recognize student voice and choice. We have the Gator Chomp, which is our school newspaper. It comes out twice a year. It is an after-school club, and it's written and edited by students, and it is so fun to read. So you can find that in our Gator Gazette. And then we have the student news. So the student news is student-led. 5th graders spend every day on the student news. It has a rotation, and they open our day with our school song, which reminds us what it means to be an Allisonville Alligator, and tell all the news for the day before we start our day at Allisonville. And then lastly, we just added this bullet point because this was very exciting. Last week, the Allisonville Mathletes finished first in the district competition last week, so we are very proud of them. Chomp, chomp, students! All right, for our school community, this year on Mondays, Gators wear green because we used to wear green on Fridays, but we can't do that anymore if we grow Panthers on Friday. But we love our green, so we have to do both, and we are proud to do it. So we wear green on Mondays, and if you visit on a Monday, you can see our school spirit. The highlight of the year, possibly, is that Tyrese Halliburton, who is a neighbor of ours, he was a special secret guest at our Gator Gathering in October. He slipped in through the back, and Dr. Taylor may have gotten to shoot a couple of free throws. So might have Mr. Warren against Tyrese Halliburton, who did win the free throw contest, but he was at our school talking about resiliency and modeling perseverance for our school community. At Eastwood, we are trying to definitely make a We Grow Panthers pipeline there. So we had Gator Night at Eastwood. We did that in the fall, and it was very, very supported. There were many people who came to watch not basketball, football, tennis, and soccer at Eastwood. Chompy. Chompy won the mascot race at the Washington Township Foundation Homecoming Mascot Parade, which was very fun. Shannon Anderson is an amazing local author. She's written many award-winning books, and she is a partner with us at Allisonville, and we are inspired by her annually. But she did visit Allisonville this year as a visiting author in January, just after winning a National Book Award in San Francisco. So that was so special to have Shannon. And then lastly, for the school community, the Gator Games, everyone's invited, is a new event at Allisonville because we are always working on improving and perfecting the Gator Way. So the Gator Games will be our new all-school field day, which we've never had before. So we're very excited. It's happening on May 15th. Chompy will be leading the opening ceremonies, and then he will also be closing it with our final Gator gathering with our final Gator Pack activity for the year. So always just working on building our great culture and identity at Allisonville. All right, if we look at achievement, we have some things to celebrate for sure. We are celebrating that every single grade level this year at Allisonville showed growth on DIBELS testing from the beginning of year to the middle of the year. That was super exciting. We reviewed that in our mid-year data meetings with teachers. We highlighted by a 16% increase in kindergarten especially, and we are really looking forward to reviewing those end-of-year results with teams in May once they do the final assessment in DIBELS. We're also very proud of our 3rd through 5th graders who have been working so hard on standards-based instruction, and 3rd through 5th grade teachers and students were able to be above the district and state average in every single checkpoint in both ELA and math this year. For kindergarten through 3rd grade, we really focus on exact path because we don't have iLearn checkpoints there, and we were very proud of them because fall to winter showed improvement in every grade and every teacher in their diagnostic testing. And then lastly, we've really been working on our attendance. We know that you do your best learning when you're at school. So every Gator, every day is how we grow Panthers. That's our philosophy at Allisonville. So our charge was to be above 95% every single month. And we were able to hit that, which is awesome. And so there are many challenges throughout classrooms and grade levels. But this very last bit, we are not throwing the towel in. We are in till the very end. We teach to the bell, so to speak, at Allisonville. So we are racing into May. So there's an attendance challenge. Our social worker, Miss AB, and our school counselor, Miss Sedgwick, challenged us on morning announcements to race into May. So if you come by Allisonville, you will see this awesome track with every teacher's picture and a race car, and students are working to make their way around the track with different incentives. Everyone's going to get to the finish line. Mr. Warren, our assistant principal, Mr. Warren, give us a wave. Mr. Warren and I are in the pace car, and we know we're going to race into May and meet the challenge. We are continuing to work on things at Allisonville as well, because we know there's always areas for improvement. So here are some areas that we are working on. We continue to work on reducing tardies. We know that school starts at 7:40 with our amazing student news. We head right into morning meeting where we do essential SEL skills before we start our blocks of instruction. So we need every single Gator there every day by 7:40. So we are working on the tardies at Allisonville. Our goal is to have 100 students complete the Chompy Challenge, which is our homeschool reading program, like I said, with a special emphasis on 3 through 5, because we've noticed that it starts to wane, the excitement. So building in Miss Ferguson, our teacher librarian, Miss Ferguson, chomp chomp, is our cheerleader of the Chompy Challenge, and she's been doing really some creative things to make sure 3rd through 5th graders stay engaged in that home reading program, just growing the love for reading at Allisonville. We have started under the direction of Miss Kincaid, who is here. Miss Kincaid, chomp chomp, 1st grade PLC lead. She was the brainchild of this with her team last year, a growth group model in 1st grade, noticing that there was just really an opportunity to track students' data and really hone in on their skills. And so creating a growth group at the end of each day where students rotate around the grade level based on their data to provide extreme targeted support for them has been very successful. And we've seen a lot of growth out of that. And so we piloted it now in 2nd grade, and we're very excited about the opportunities there next year in 2nd grade. We are continuing to support our transient population. So folks that move in and out, we want you to feel extremely welcome from the day you step foot at Allisonville. We are your school. You're a Gator. We are proud you're here. We want you to feel like this is your community. So we do a new student orientation once a month to help students feel connected, give them their Gator pack. And we also set them up with our school counselor and do lots of things to connect to our Gator community. And then lastly, with staff, we've really been working on the no opt-out strategies that we've been learning about in leadership meetings this year, working towards that 70% proficiency goal. So we know students aren't merely participating in class, but they're really driving and investing in their learning, looking at the engagement continuum with staff and what does that actually look like and sound like in classrooms each day. Here are a few promising practices at Allisonville. A couple of them I've already talked about, so I won't go through them in detail, but 1st grade, end of day growth groups, and 2nd grade using those growth groups moving into next year. We also looked at dedicating an end of day iRead growth group time for students to really build a community of readers for those that are still working to pass iRead. And that has been very successful, and we're excited about those possibilities. After school tutoring, thank you to the Lilly Grant that provided quite a bit of funding for that. We've been able to do tutoring every single Monday and Wednesday of the school year, and we've had a lot of positive feedback from parents. We've been able to keep those groups super small, so it's either a teacher with 2 or 3 students, and that has been a great program for us. We continue to grow Panthers during our Disability Awareness Week, which we partner with the Joseph Maley Foundation. Thank you to the foundation for supporting that. And we were excited this year for the first time ever to bring the Best Buddies program from North Central to Allisonville to present to the 5th grade students, because they will have that opportunity when they move on to Eastwood and also into North Central. I am not going to say the secret yet about Miss Kincaid and Mrs. Hudson, but they were helping to grow Panthers, so I'll have to wait for that. And then we've had ongoing professional development with our engagement continuum and the no opt-out strategies. The last thing we did that was really cool, that's a promising practice, is last year we noticed that our hallways could be used in a more intentional way. At Allisonville, we're just 3 long hallways. Most schools are like a circle or a square. We are not. So we're just 3 long hallways. So instead of having intermediate and primary together, it made sense to have split hallways, so to speak. So we have mentorships in each hallway. So there are 3rd graders mentoring kindergartners in one hallway, 2nd graders mentoring, or 5th graders mentoring 2nd graders in one hallway, and then 4th graders mentoring 1st graders. So those are a book buddy, and it's been great. And we really have enjoyed that new transition to Allisonville. All right, I am going to move into special recognition. So thank you for our crew for being here. We appreciate it so much. We have 3 very exciting people and groups to present tonight. Our first, Portrait of a Panther. So this is a student who took something happening at Allisonville and saw it in a bigger way and really created a phenomenon. The phenomenon, we could not see it from the start, but it just grew and grew and grew. And it ended in this gorgeous picture you can see here. This is Miss Kincaid's first grade classroom with Mr. Hodson's anthropology class. They did a field trip just a couple weeks ago, but it started with Parker. So Parker, come on up. Parker Holmes is a first grader in Miss Kincaid's class. And Parker's family is here. Parker had the idea. Miss Kincaid was teaching TPR, which is a total participation techniques. That means that you use hand signals for vocabulary to make them stick in your brain. And they were doing that during their literacy block. And Parker raised his hand and said, can you send this video to North Central so they can grow Panthers and know what we're doing at Allisonville? And Miss Kincaid thought that was such a great idea that Parker had that she told Mrs. Hodson, our literacy coach, Mrs. Hodson, chomp chomp. Mrs. Hodson happens to be married to Mr. Hodson, who teaches it at North Central. So she told him the story at dinner and they got talking. And he said, well, let's do that. So he went back and said, hey guys, we have a challenge from the Gators and Parker. And so the challenge was accepted and they sent a video back and it's been going back and forth all year long. And so it was really exciting to be able to take this field trip. So the Allisonville Alligators got to meet the North Central Panthers that they were videoing with all year. And it was just a really special connection. So Parker, thank you for inspiring us. You are such a great Gator and a true Panther.
Thank you for such a great idea.
Great job.
Dr. Taylor, for his picture, can we have Miss Kincaid and Miss Hodson and Mr. Hodson come up? And I failed to mention, these are Parker's parents. Thank you for coming. The Chilson family's here. That is inaccurate, so disregard that. The Chilson family's here. Melissa Chilson, if you could come up. And Sarah and John, her kiddos, who are Gators, chomp chomp, come on up with your mom. All right, Melissa Chilson can do all the things. She is a former teacher. They recently moved here from Texas, and Melissa, not teaching currently, said, what do you need? And we said, well, what can you do? And she said, I can do everything. So she can teach, she can fill a leave, she can work in the library, she can work in the office, she can volunteer, and she is amazing. So she comes to Allisonville almost every day. She's super positive and supportive, and she owns a Gator green dress. So Melissa, we are so happy to recognize you tonight. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. I'll be happy to hire you when you're ready to come back.
Thank you.
full-time.
I still have a little one, so.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And lastly, this is a new partnership for us at Allisonville that came about at the beginning of the year. And we're just so happy to recognize the Northview Church at Benford campus. And Rick and Shannon are here. That's his son. If you guys want to come on up. Rick is a pastor at Northview Church. The Benford campus is right by Allisonville and Eastwood. They support our community, and a lot of families go to that church, but they have another campus up north at a place I won't speak of at a school board meeting that they support a lot. And so they reached out to us and said, we should support Washington Township too. And we said, we agree, you should. So it's been a cool partnership. We have enjoyed, they've provided snacks and lunch for our staff, which staff super appreciate that. They've also supported book fair volunteers, and they said, the sky's the limit. What do you need? We are looking forward to continuing this partnership in the future. So thank you for being our new partners this year.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
All right. And lastly, the foundation is always an amazing partner, and they have given so much to Allisonville over the years. Our staff takes advantage of all the things that they offer. You can see here, we've taken advantage of teacher treasures. We just had people who went to the opening a couple weeks ago. We have 3 teachers who were supported by the adopted teacher this year. We have 5 staff members who have done Donors Choose this year. And also the highlight is that eight teachers received grants totaling $20,000. So that is amazing. And we just feel like we wouldn't be able to do everything we're able to do at Allisonville without the foundation. And I don't know if they're here tonight, but we would like to just celebrate that partnership as well. All right. And that is us. We are the Gators. Come anytime. Does anyone have any questions?
I don't have a question, really a comment. I did a school visit maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I saw the Joseph Malloy Foundation and
Yes.
puppets, and I thought that was really cool.
Yes. And Joseph Maley, the foundation has supported that as well. And so has our PTO. So thank you for coming and acknowledging them.
I just want the full chompy, all the chompers there.
All the chompies. Chomp, chomp.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you guys for having us.
All right. I will say that although we have a scintillating agenda ahead of us tonight, if you aren't inclined to stay for the whole meeting, we won't be offended if you would like to slip out at this point. I'll give it just a minute for folks to make their way out before we turn it over to Dr. Taylor.
I was a stay.
Not sure.
All right, the next item on our agenda tonight is our superintendent's announcements. Dr. Taylor.
All right. Thank you, President Fry. Good evening, members of the board. Good evening, community. Awesome job, Allisonville. I just want a couple reminders for the board. We do have Bus Driver Appreciation Day coming up next week, April 28th. So to the board and to our community, if you have an opportunity, please make it a point to thank a bus driver. We have several hardworking drivers in the district, I believe over 90. And so we look forward to sending them a little note of appreciation next week over at the Transportation Center. We also have Teacher Appreciation Week coming up May 4th through 8th. So we look forward to celebrating our teachers during that week. We have a shout out attached for your review to Greenbrier, North Central, and our district instructional leadership team from NIET. I know we've been celebrating Northview quite a bit lately as a result of their massive national award that they won, but Miss Teresa, who is our NIET support specialist, wrote a very thorough update regarding their progress, highlighting some of the great work that's happening at Greenbrier, North Central, as well as our district instructional leadership team as well. We're excited on May 26th and 28th. Each school will have leaders trained on the 5 steps of effective learning and the essentials to leading strong instructional leadership teams as we work to grow that partnership across all schools to varying degrees next year and the years after throughout the duration of our strategic plan. Also had the pleasure of meeting with Mr. Boots and the ops team earlier this week, so I wanted to provide that capital projects update to you as we continue to make progress on our construction. And then Formamos Panteras, I believe I said that right. That's We Grow Panthers in Espanol in Spanish. And so to ensure consistency and clarity in our communications, we're going to be using the following attached district logo and slogan when we're creating flyers, newsletters, and other materials shared in print or on social media in Spanish. So wanted to make sure the board was aware of that. And then finally, since it is Administrative Assistant Appreciation Day, I want to take a point to appreciate all of our admin assistants throughout the district who take care of all of us staff, take care of our families, take care of our students. I was at Willow Lake for the most part today, and to see all that their front office team does to take care of that school and to take care of each other was pretty amazing. And so I just wanted to make sure we thanked them all, but to especially take this opportunity right now to turn it over to Mr. Thompson for us to recognize Ms. Wilson, our board and superintendent executive assistant.
Ms. Wilson, thank you for all that you do for us. For those that don't know, she schedules all of our meetings. We have 5 different board members plus a superintendent who have all varying different schedules. So she goes back and forth. That's one of many things. Any kind of travel we have, she helps book. So on behalf of the board, we have a small token of appreciation.
Do you want to come out and go down the hall? Kidding, no, I'm kidding.
I'll take pictures.
No, I don't.
Take a cell phone. And that concludes my superintendent's announcements this evening.
All right, thank you. Dr. Taylor, you mentioned your visit to Willow Lake today. I would also like to draw everyone's attention to the fairly epic selfie that was already posted on the district Facebook page from that visit.
I don't think I'll be allowed back in the cafeteria based on the cafeteria supervisors looking at me like you're causing a major disruption in here, but it was fun nonetheless. Lots of good hugs.
All right, the next item on our agenda is comments from the public. We did have one person sign in, but we think she may have just been signing in to say she was here. But is there Ms. Hensley who wanted to address the board? Okay. Sorry don't mean to embarrass you or call you out. Okay, we appreciate you letting us know you were here. Was there anyone else here who, if there is anyone else here who did intend to make public comment to the board tonight, I would invite you to approach the podium at this time. And seeing none, I'll go ahead and close that agenda item and we will move on to the consent agenda. Dr. Kaiser.
President Fry, members of the board, I recommend that you approve the consent agenda for this meeting. The consent agenda includes approval of the minutes of the April 8th, 2026 regular board meeting, approval of one payroll calculation summary report, a claims docket in the amount of $5,310,983.95, a special personnel item in accordance with Indiana Code 20-26-5-11.2, a board memo on completion of 5-year background check processes for school year 2025 and 2026, a human resources report containing for classified personnel, 9 new hires, numbers 268 to 276, 5 resignations, numbers 140 to 144, and 2 leaves, numbers 55 and 56. For certified personnel, 7 new appointments, numbers 3 through number 9, 5 resignations, numbers 52 to 56, 1 retirement, number 14, and 4 transfers, numbers 1 through 4. There are no non-competitive grants, gifts, or donations to present for board approval.
Board, any questions or discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
Move to approve the consent agenda as presented by Dr. Kaiser.
Second.
Okay, I will go ahead and call the vote because we do have a virtual member tonight. We will have to do all votes by roll call. So I will begin with Mrs. George Davis.
Aye.
Mr. Turner.
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. The ayes have it 4-0.
Thank you.
Dr. Kaiser.
And as the board knows, often very exciting things happen in that consent agenda. And so I'm going to turn things over to Dr. Pettigrew. If you've got anything to share.
Hi, sir. Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Taylor, with tonight's consent agenda, you have approved Mrs. Alexandra Brownell, who will come forward as the new principal of Washington Township Online Academy. Let's give her a round of applause. As you approved previously, this role reflects a reorganization of existing roles at North Central. And while Ms. Brownell will remain at North Central as one of the assistant principals, we are excited about this additional leadership opportunity for Ms. Brownell. She brings over 20 years of experience in education, 15 years as a high school science teacher. Before moving to district and building-based leadership, she has served as our assistant secondary curriculum coordinator, and in her current role, she co-leads the instructional leadership team, oversees academic departments, and supports dual credit and high ability. So we are excited about her expertise in supporting students with diverse and non-traditional learning needs. And so we're very excited. Congratulations, Mrs. Do you mind if we capture a picture with her team that came to support her as well? Can we get the team that came to support her? Thank you so much.
You too, Crystal.
We appreciate you. Awesome. Congrats again.
Thank you very much and congratulations, Ms. Brownell. We'll move on to our action items at this time. Our first action item is Dr. Kaiser, the approval of the Evolve Gateway purchase.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor, President Fry, members of the board. I come to you this evening seeking approval for the purchase of one dual-lane Evolve weapon detection system for deployment at North Central High School. As I shared last month during our school safety information item, this is the next step in our ongoing evaluation process of potential weapon detection systems to be utilized daily at North Central entrances. As part of that evaluative process, we've surveyed students, parents, and staff and found there to be significant support for additional usage across all groups. A summary and analysis of that survey data is included in your board documents for this evening. Following visits to multiple area schools deploying similar technologies this school year, the committee conducted on-site demonstrations of 2 different systems as potential solutions, and then also conducted an evaluation of the current system we utilize for our high school athletic events. All 3 systems were evaluated using the following 4 criteria. 40% was on operational performance or accurate and consistent weapons detection with minimal false detections and the ability to handle a large volume of students coming through. 25% was usability, an interface that can be efficiently used and understood by staff. 20% was the design, a system that can effectively function within our infrastructure and also feels modern. And then 15% was on fiscal responsibility and support, a system reasonably priced that meets the needs and criteria compared to other available systems. We only evaluated systems that included system updates, software support, included maintenance and staff training as part of the implementation. Again, the individual evaluation ratings of all 3 systems are in your board documents for your review. Based on the committee ratings, I am recommending that you approve the purchase of one dual-lane Evolve gateway system at this time. And I'd like to thank Matt Alexander and Steve Daunt from ERS Wireless for joining us this evening, setting up a similar gateway out there in the hallway so that the board could see the system in action this evening. The gateway is mobile. It'll be used at multiple locations at North Central in the remainder of the school year and over summer events. It's our belief that having this first gateway will allow us to familiarize students with its operation, train staff in managing and running the gate, and ultimately make a final determination on how effectively this system can be deployed at North Central during student arrival and throughout the school day. If the system can handle the load, and we expect that it will, we would then recommend to the board in the future that we purchase additional gates to cover the remaining entrances at North Central. The total cost of this system is $96,646.25, and that includes the cost of software, the software subscription, the hardware, training, maintenance for a 4-year period coming from the operations fund. In conclusion, I'd like to thank Mr. Brewer, Chief Lindsay, and Lieutenant Peterson for participating in our evaluation committee, and Mrs. Horth Kruger for lending her perspective as our board liaison to the district safety committee. This concludes my presentation. I'm happy, as always, to answer any questions you may have at this time.
Questions, board?
Just comment. It was cool to go through it and see how it worked. So, and I know that President Fry also went through it. It's cool about her laptop. So.
Yeah, I will say I have had questions, as this process has evolved. But thankfully, Dr. Taylor has, I know, kept me in the loop and, Ms. Horth Kruger on the committee has shared feedback. So it's a important and exciting step. And I know we've had opportunities to know what was going on as we went. And I will say I tested it quite a bit.
You did.
I did
You
some
did.
different scenarios. And I was very happy, particularly with its ability to filter and not have false positives.
Absolutely.
All right. Do I have a motion?
I actually have a question.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're
It's okay.
your face isn't in front of me on the screen. I didn't mean to
It's
forget about
okay.
you. Go ahead.
Just a quick question about the software, and I may have overlooked this. You gave a very detailed detailed documentation to us, but does the software cover unlimited units or up to a certain number of units? Do we have to upgrade the software as we get units? If you could just give me like a brief how that works.
Yeah, as we purchase the units, they typically come with a software subscription that comes with the unit. So there's not one universal. I'm going to look to Matt for help with that. There's not one universal, but it is by unit. But when we purchase a unit, we purchase the hardware and the software subscription to carry it through, as well as the maintenance.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no more questions, is there a motion?
Move to approve the Evolve Gateway purchase as presented by Dr. Kaiser.
Second.
I believe we already had discussion, but any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Or, I'm sorry, roll call vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. The ayes have it 4-0. Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing the outcomes of the pilot.
Thank you.
Next up on our agenda, Mrs. Smith, the approval of our 2027 budget preparation calendar.
Can I,
Oh, yes.
having a little bit of technical issue, I need to.
Thank you. Yeah, because I can't see when Tracy or when. Oh.
She's not on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She did.
Okay. Okay, now I can.
Little screen.
I see her now. Yeah.
Should be good. Thank you.
Good evening. It is hard to believe we're in April of 2026, and my topic this evening is talking about the 2027 budgets. So, as customary, we bring the 2027 budget preparation calendar to the board so you can see the dates for our next budget preparation period. These are required for board approval, 3 major steps. The first step is holding a budget workshop and then asking later at that board meeting for permission to advertise. So we advertise on the Gateway website, which is the community website, and also on our own district website. So that is one. There are certain statutory dates in between that you must do each one of these steps within so many days or not before so many days. The next major step is holding public hearings. So we do that and we would be doing that. The first one is September 9th for the workshop and permission to advertise. The public hearing would be September 23rd. And then last but not least, the final one where the board adopts the budget and ancillary resolutions would be October 14th for 2026 to approve the 2027 budgets. From there, they're uploaded to the Gateway website, all the signed forms, resolutions, all of that. And then the Department of Local Government Finance does their work for all the school districts and other entities within the state. And then they are to certify our next year's budget by December 31st at the latest. So this is that calendar, and I would ask for the board's approval as presented.
Board, any questions? Do I have okay, do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the 2027 budget preparation calendar as presented by Mrs. Smith.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor indicate by, I'm sorry, once again, Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson, and I am an aye. And the ayes pass 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I am so sorry. Somehow ended up in last meeting's agenda. Okay, and Mrs. Smith gets to stay here for the approval of the services engagement agreement with Ice Miller.
Thank you very much. This evening, you have in your board packet a services agreement with Ice Miller. And this is our, if you recall, we've used them for several specialized legal services for our bonds, leases, and those type of things, previous referendums, all that. And this evening, we asked for the board's approval for to engage with them again on specialized legal services throughout 2026. This engagement will provide support with complex, time-sensitive legal work related to long-range planning, government matters requiring outside legal experience. Services will include drafting and reviewing required legal documents, advising on compliance with Indiana law, and supporting the district in coordination with county and state officials as needed. The firm will also participate in strategic discussions, review resolutions and notices, and help ensure all required legal procedures are properly followed. This engagement is limited strictly to legal services. The district retains all decision-making authority and is not relying on the firm for non-legal or policy determinations. The estimated cost for these services is expected to range anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 and will be funded through our operations fund. And I would be happy to answer any questions the board may have regarding this contract and agreement.
Any questions, board? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Move that we approve the services engagement agreement with Ice Miller LLP as presented by Mrs. Smith.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I will call the vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson, and I'm also an aye. That passes 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we will move on to number 4 and call it Mrs. Conti for the approval of a secondary curriculum contract with Edmentum.
Good evening. First, I'm here to seek approval for the new Edmentum contract. Edmentum is the online learning platform that we've used for over 6 years to support both first-time credit attainment and credit recovery in our secondary spaces. It provides flexible learning opportunities for a range of student needs, including those in alternative settings, homebound instruction, and other non-traditional environments. We are seeking approval to renew our contract with Edmentum beginning June 1st, 2026 and extending through May 31st, 2029. This will provide continued access to courseware, including the core library, the CTE library, and electives libraries across all secondary schools, including True North Academy and the future Washington Township Online Academy. This renewal ensures that we can continue offering consistent, flexible pathways for students to stay on track and graduate. And we are requesting board approval to move forward with the agreement. And I am happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions?
Just a real quick one.
Yes.
I think you just answered it, but when you look at this fee, it is across the district, so there's no set licensing seat fee. In other words, there's not a per person fee. Is it just all?
So you pay for licenses, and we're getting 1,100 licenses for that. They changed their fee structure. Used to pay core library was one cost, CTE was one, electives was one, and now we purchase a comprehensive library, so we get access to all of them at the same cost.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Actually,
Go ahead.
So I don't know, it's not really a question, but more of a comment for the public, but this is the online like modules that students can take for either credit recovery or first time. So like some students this summer may be taking these courses for summer school, correct?
I don't believe we use it in summer school. We are this summer, but we have not in the past. So, but yes,
Yeah, aware of that.
yes.
And actually, I'm sorry, I did have, now that Mr. Turner asked that question, what does a license, we're getting 1,100 licenses. Is that for a course, a credit?
They're for a course. So we get 1,100 courses. And I had minutes before the meeting asked Miss Brownell if she could tell me how many credits were earned last year, but she probably didn't bring her computer in to answer that for me.
That's okay.
We go beyond our limit every year and they don't charge us additional ones. So we probably gave about 12 or 1,300 credits through it last year.
Thank you. And then I'm sorry, one more question, because I didn't see it in the summary, but I do see it in the contract. Now, this is actually for 3 years.
Yes,
Okay, so this total amount we're seeing isn't a yearly amount, it's for 3 years.
it's for 3 years.
That makes it a lot more palatable. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
Okay, that's all my questions. Do I have a motion?
I move that we approve the we approve a secondary curriculum contract with Edmentum. That's 2 contracts. Approval of secondary curriculum contract, Edmentum contract for period of June 1st, 26 to May 31st, 2029, as presented by Mrs. Conti.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? I will go ahead and call the vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
and I am an aye. That is approved 4-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Conti gets to stay with us for action item number 5, approval of the 2026 digital learning grant.
Yes, on April 3rd, the curriculum team applied for $50,000 through the Indiana Department of Education's digital learning grant. If awarded, these funds will support a partnership with 220 Youth Leadership to expand access to work-based learning through a virtual internship platform. Students can earn up to 150 hours of experience building career awareness, employability skills, and receive direct feedback from industry professionals, all while removing barriers like transportation and scheduling. This work directly supports the goal that 100% of North Central graduates will earn an honors diploma seal by 2030 by expanding that access to work-based learning, increasing participation in college and career readiness experiences, and strengthening career-ready skills. Currently, 220 Youth Leadership is being used to support work-based learning and has the potential to support personal financial responsibility, computing foundations, and preparing for college and career courses, all that are requirement for graduation under the new diploma rules. We have a clear sustainability plan through CTE reimbursement, performance-based funding, and existing curricular resources, ensuring that the work continues beyond the grant. We are seeking approval to accept and implement the grant if and when awarded, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Board, any questions about money? Yes, Mr. Thompson.
Not really a question about accepting free money, but more so, is the grant competitive or is it like,
It is competitive, yes.
when will we find out?
Well, I have been trying to answer that question for a few days. It was never on the memo. It was never on the application. So I'll say soon. I would assume probably early May.
Yeah, it looks like, yeah, because it looks begins July 1. So
Yes.
thank you.
You're welcome. All right, if there's no further questions, do I have a motion?
Move to approve the digital learning grant from the IDOE as presented by Mrs. Conti.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will call the vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
and I am also an aye. Thank you. That is approved.
Thank
4-0.
you.
All right, and our last 3 action items are all Mr. Boots. He gets to stay up here for a while. And action item number 6 is the approval of change orders.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, Dr. Taylor and members of the board. The first request this morning is approval of change order number 003 to Horning Roofing and Sheet Metal on our Hilltop re-roofing project. This change order closes that project and recoups some unused allowance monies and some salvage of the old copper roof to our benefit. The financial impact will be a deduct of $26,440.83. And that will be returned to operations funding. Be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
Move to approve the 2016-2020 capital project change order as presented by Mr. Boots.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any
Oh.
discussion? It's a tough sell. Us taking money back, Mr. Boots. I will go ahead and call the vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson, and I am also an aye. Approved 4-0. Action item number 7, approval of a resolution for the removal of portable classroom.
Thank you again, Madam President. Yes, I'm asking for approval of a resolution for the removal of the portable classrooms at North Central High School. These are the final of the temporary classroom facilities in the district and it has currently been used the last several years as offices for our construction manager during construction of the referendum projects on campus. These portables have served their useful purpose for the district and are no longer needed. Their value is less than their sale cost or storage cost or other transfer costs. So a resolution has been prepared by our legal counsel, and the resolution is in accordance with District Board Policy 7310. The resolution authorizes the superintendent to take the necessary steps required for disposal of the portable classroom unit. There will be no financial impact due to this disposal of this unit, as it was anticipated several years ago when we entered into the agreement with our construction management group. Be happy to answer any questions.
I do have a couple.
Sorry?
I do have a couple, sorry.
Yes,
What
of
you
course.
just said, there'll be no cost. I mean, I would think there would be some cost with hauling away or dumping. So
Yes.
was that already accounted for in a contract, or when you explained that?
Sure, of course. Yes, it is already accounted for. When we moved these portable classrooms over some years ago, when the high school project started, we anticipated the disposal of these. So we included that cost into our construction manager's guaranteed maximum price contract. There's no additional cost. There is cost, but it's already allowed for within that contract.
Okay, and then my second question is partially also for the community,
Sure.
just to help and to make sure I understand kind of why this is in front of the board, right? Because this is essentially throwing something away.
Yeah.
In my understanding, but I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, is essentially law requires that if we are going to destroy what can be considered capital or an asset, we have to go through a process.
That's exactly right. Yes, it's deemed to be, I forget the term, Becky, you know the term? Yeah, just an asset.
In this case, it's an asset, but it's an asset that would cost us more to do anything
Exactly
with than to destroy.
And despite best efforts of repurposing it to other community groups, or we've not been successful in any of those efforts.
Okay, thank you. I just want to make sure that was clear on the record. That's all my questions. Anybody else? All right, do I have a motion?
Move to approve the resolution for the removal of portable classrooms at NCHS as presented by Mr. Boots.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I will call the vote. Mrs. George Davis?
Aye.
Mr. Turner?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson? I'm also an aye. That is approved 4-0. Thank you. And last but not least, approval of a professional services agreement with Moisture Management.
Yes, as my final request, asking for approval of an amendment to the professional services agreement for moisture management services on our Hilltop re-roofing project. Moisture Management voluntarily opened discussions about reducing their construction administration fee when it became apparent that they would not need to expend the amount of labor originally anticipated due to additional inspections and oversight provided by the metal roof manufacturer. There were some unusual conditions in this roof that really drew their attention, so they spent some extra time and effort and had personnel on the site. Thus, Moisture Management voluntarily agreed to reduce their construction administration fee, and we certainly appreciate their honesty. So the financial impact here will be a deduct of $9,000. And again, that will return to operations funds. Be happy to answer any questions.
Board, any questions? Mr. Turner?
Is this like the first company that's done this voluntarily? I mean, that's just amazing.
Yes, Yeah, yes, I agree. All kudos to them. They
Especially
were,
this day and age.
they voluntarily offered up this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Man, impressive.
Mr. Bruce, we're gonna keep you up here because you keep giving us money back. We like that.
Well, the
What,
longer
more?
he stays, though, the longer he stays.
Okay, is there a motion?
I move we approve the professional service agreement with Moisture Management Services Company as presented by Mr. Boots.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the vote. Mrs. George Davis,
Aye.
Mr. Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson.
Aye.
I'm also an aye. Thank you, Mr. Boots,
Yeah,
for this
thank you.
delightful agenda. Okay, that reaches the end of our action items tonight. We do not have any information items. So our last thing would be any special events and liaison reports. I always go in a random order, so I'll start tonight since usually I put other people on the spot first. The legal RFP committee, we've been continuing our work. That's been a theme in the last few meetings I've been reporting. So we had another meeting yesterday and we are very close to bringing that final recommendation to the board to approve at our regular July meeting when we always appoint our board council. But I think, well, you'll hear more about it then, but I think it was a really good process. I think that it illuminated many things, and I think it put us in a good position where even if the firm we selected, right, if there is anything doesn't work out for some reason in the future, we've also prepared ourselves really well to kind of feel comfortable with what the alternatives are and whatnot. I do have to offer a massive kudos to Mrs. Smith, who not only ran the process but created the process from scratch, and it ran very smoothly and very effectively. So she deserves a huge shout out for that. So that's been my board work over the last 2 weeks. In the schools, I was able to attend North Central Recognition Night. Couple notes from that. First of all, like my jaw is on the ground at the AP scholars because like they start by calling the AP scholar. I didn't even know there's like 3 levels of AP scholars depending how many tests you took and what your average was. So I'm listening to them call out all the AP scholars and, it's alphabetical. I'm like, oh, it's a good number of AP scholars. Good job. We're getting a lot of AP credits in. And then they started calling the like with distinction. And then they started calling the like with extra distinction. And each list just got longer. So, I mean, the number of kids we have earning significant AP credits was really stood out to me. And then the other thing that just stood out to me, it wasn't just the same 5 kids who are, in the top 25. There were some great PTO awards for just nominated by teachers for just kind of good citizenship. There were a lot of awards. It was very intentional to make sure it wasn't just kind of those top 25 kids over and over, but to really recognize different types of achievement and different types of leadership across our student body. So that was good experience. I will turn it over to Mr. Thompson.
I got to go to San Antonio 2 weekends ago for the National School Board Association's annual conference. I was the only one from our board that went this year, but I got to hang out with some of our neighboring districts, Lawrence Township, Warren Township, and Pike Township. A lot of great speakers. They also have all this like exposition hall, which is kind of cool to see the different products and things they have to offer school districts. Probably the most memorable session I went to was by a gentleman named Mr. AJ Crabhill, and we got a signed book by him, but why student outcomes matter. And I can't remember the quote, but I'm going to tell you because it's important. So give me 2 seconds. Let's see. Here we go. A major takeaway: student outcomes don't change until adult behaviors change. And I thought that was super powerful. One of the things he said. So had a really, really good time in San Antonio. I'm hanging out with school board members and leadership across the country. And then finally, I got to also go to North Central Recognition Night because my son was one of few freshmen recognized for a Life Sciences Award. So that was really cool, though, to see all the students and all the things that Ms. Fry mentioned. So that's what I got.
You, Mr. Turner.
I too was at the RFP meeting for our legal advisors or legal counsel. what I did do is because of that meeting, I was not able to attend the ISBA Region 8 dinner that was right at the same time. So I did not attend that. Other than that, that's what I've done for the district.
And Mrs. Georgievis.
We originally had a policy meeting scheduled, but we did so much work in first semester that we canceled it. So nothing to report.
Great. Okay, that wraps up the liaison reports. Anything else for the good of the order? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Bye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.